Hi everybody, it's Talk to Me Tuesday and it is Wednesday, the 28th of February, last day of Feb. Sorry there was no video last week. It was one of those weeks that just got away from me. I am sat in my craft room and outside my window is a very dark but very snowy world, because we've got temperatures of I think it was -8 last night and it's -4 tonight. It's been -2 all day, and yeah, so it's cold for England. I mean, England's cold anyway, but this is pretty chilly. It was definitely a 4-scarf day today. Don't have a huge, well, I always say I don't have a lot to show you and then I show you loads, so I do have some things to show you. I got the last of my blocks for my birthday month block swap thing, and I think Jennifer sent them to me, the last 3 blocks. So I got this one from Vanda, and I really love, but it reminds me of something and I've no idea what, but it's beautiful. So that's one from Vanda, thank you very much. Got this one from Jules. Couldn't read that then. There you go, that way round. With the hot air balloons on it, which I love. And she signed it quite big, so I don't feel quite so bad now from my signing. And she also included a really cool postcard with the hot air balloons on it. So I love getting postcards from you guys because it means that I can put them on my board and use them for paper piecing, and love a good postcard. And this one from Jennifer, which I really love. This fabric's really pretty, this one. Anyway, so those are my last 3. So I now have all my blocks. I just need to decide what I'm going to do with them. Might well be something to go on the walls in here because it's a bit echoey in here, and it needs some stuff up because my husband stole my craft room and I got stuck in here and there's nothing on the walls. In terms of my making, I have been watching everybody make their Project of Doom quilts and really craving making another Project of Doom quilt. But I didn't really want to do another Harry Potter one. I know there's a Disney version on Fandom and Stitches, which I really love, but I didn't want to restrict it to just Disney. So what I decided to do was make a quilt in the bookcase style, but with books that when I was a little girl that I loved reading, and books I like reading to my kids, and Harry Potter. And so there will be some Harry Potter blocks, but there'll also be some Lord of the Rings, some Game of Thrones, and some various other bits and pieces. So you'll see those being made as I go along. I have done a schedule of which blocks I'm going to make and what I can do to turn current POD blocks into different fandoms slightly. So you'll see as I go along. I mean, obviously I want to have certain fandoms in there, so there are some of the Disney blocks that I'll be showing you that I've done. So I picked for my background fabric this lilac, and it's just I think it's Macau spray time. Yeah, it's Macau spray time, but it's in lilac. And I really wanted to do a purpley one. I don't know why. I think I saw quite a lot of people doing POD quilts in that colour. The other thing I wanted to do was do hand embroidery for the book titles. I know on the Facebook group there's been lots of people who have been tempted to buy the embroidery machines to do their Project of Doom quilt. I had an embroidery machine when I did my Project of Doom quilt, but it was only a small frame and I'd already started to piece the blocks and I couldn't get it all lined up correctly. So I really wanted to do embroidery on this quilt, and I decided to do hand embroidery. So what I did is I have a list of all the all the books that I want to include in my quilt. Here's my list. Books that were important to me as a kid, and books that I love to read now, and books that I've enjoyed reading to my children. Not all of them, because I didn't want to put books like the Gruffalo on there, because yeah, I'm just not, love the book but not going there. So what I chose to do was cut some fabrics and embroider on them before I pieced them into the project. So I've got a few I've done here that are ready to go. Now, I won't tell you those ones because you'll see them in blocks later on. But for example, this is obviously one of the books. So this is Sleeping Beauty, and I embroidered the title and an apple. So you'll see those in the blocks I've completed, and then this one will be pieced into a block with an apple in it. So I've done this one, which is the Mad Hatter's hat, and I checked the colours online to make sure that I got the right colours for that. And then I did Cinderella's slipper, which is all in Fairy Frost, which I love. So pretty. Can't really see it, but it's really pretty. And I have done a Cinderella book, which will go on the block next to Cinderella because I couldn't fit it in here. Then I've got some like classics. So I have done Pride and Prejudice and Jane Eyre. I debated whether or not to put the author's name on, but I just didn't have the time to do all the book titles I wanted with the author's name. So these are like this is like my classic shelf. Then I did this one, which you can just about read. It's Charlotte's Web, and there's a spider. I chose not to do the teeth for the spider. I'm presuming Charlotte's Web is a book that you have guys in America read, but the spider was friendly, not mean, so it's kind of a smiley, happy spider. You can just about see him there. Her there. Yeah, trying to remember if it was him or her. And then I've done another Alice block. I really wanted to include the teacup, and I thought what better than to do some of the Alice fabric that Rainey sent me. So you can see the Alice there, and then Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. It's not different, it's a variegated floss, which just those two letters have come out quite dark, but it's not so visible when you see it side. And obviously at the moment you can still see the threads behind the block, but once the batting's in and the quilting's done, you won't be able to see that. And this fabric was also from Rainey. This bit says, "We're all mad here," on the book, and there's a teacup. So those are the 4 I've done so far, and yeah, I've got more and more to work on. So, but I'm really enjoying doing Project of Doom style blocks. I just keep seeing everybody's Harry Potter quilts and just loving them. But I also wanted to show that you could do embroidery by hand rather than, you know, I think sometimes people get so bogged down into I need a machine, and you end up spending vast amounts of money on something that you just maybe don't use for anything more than one project. Or my embroidery machine used to just sit here, and I would prefer to do it by hand. So yes, I've got quite a lot of hand embroidery to be doing, as you can see. There are quite a lot of books on my list, and there are quite a lot of objects. So watch this space. That will be my project for the next however long. I hope everybody has a fabulous week. Haven't commented on any videos yet, but we'll get around to it in the next couple of days, I hope. Hope everybody has a fabulous week, and I will see you all next week when hopefully it stops snowing.